Imagine if Earth suddenly stopped spinning. What would happen to everything on the surface? The ground stops instantly, but everything else keeps moving at incredible speed. Cities near the equator would face destruction within just a few terrifying seconds. The oceans would keep moving, creating enormous tsunamis that sweep across entire continents. The atmosphere would continue moving, unleashing global winds faster than the speed of sound. Airplanes would instantly lose control inside winds stronger than anything ever recorded on Earth. Entire forests would be flattened in moments by unstoppable walls of wind and flying debris. Gigantic waves would race across the oceans, destroying coastlines around the entire planet. From space, Earth would appear wrapped in enormous storms racing around the entire globe. After the chaos, one side of Earth would face endless daylight, while the other entered permanent night. Constant sunlight would bake the surface until rivers vanished and the land became unbearably hot. Meanwhile, the dark side would freeze into an endless world of snow and thick ice. Only a narrow band between day and night might remain cool enough to support life. Hot and freezing air would collide, creating gigantic storms around the entire planet. In only weeks, Earth would become almost unrecognizable compared to the world we know today. Over time, the oceans would slowly shift, flooding some regions while exposing others. Hidden landscapes beneath today's oceans would slowly emerge beneath the endless daylight. The sunlit hemisphere would become hotter each year as relentless sunlight continued without interruption. The dark hemisphere would grow colder until enormous glaciers covered entire continents. Powerful winds would endlessly carry heat from the day side toward the frozen night side. The boundary between day and night would become Earth's most violent storm system. From orbit, Earth would look more like two different planets sharing the same world. The endless daylight could provide unlimited solar energy. If anyone could survive the extreme heat, entire cities on the dark side would eventually disappear beneath kilometers of ancient ice. As oceans shifted, vast stretches of the seafloor would finally rise above the water. The equator would eventually become one of the hottest deserts in the solar system. Most surviving plants and animals would gradually migrate into the narrow twilight zone. Ice would spread farther every year, covering landscapes that once supported millions of living creatures. Endless sunlight would evaporate enormous amounts of water from the permanently illuminated hemisphere. Water vapor would freeze on the dark side, building thicker ice with every passing year. Eventually, most of Earth's remaining water would become trapped as permanent ice. The sunlit side would become drier every century as water slowly disappeared from the surface. Nearly all life would eventually depend on one thin ring separating fire from ice. Stopping Earth's rotation could also weaken the magnetic field that protects our planet. More harmful solar radiation could reach Earth as the weakened shield allowed energetic particles through. Space technology would become increasingly difficult to operate in the harsher radiation environment. Life that survived would slowly adapt to a world where the sun never moved across the sky. After centuries, Earth would become a completely different planet, shaped by eternal day and endless night. If humanity survived, future cities would likely be built inside the narrow twilight zone. Food would probably be grown inside protected farms, safe from the planet's extreme climate. Communities might connect through a continuous network stretching around Earth's entire twilight ring. The endless winds could provide a nearly constant source of renewable energy for survivors. Thousands of years later, civilization might exist only as a thin circle around an unrecognizable Earth. Even after millions of years, Earth's continents would continue drifting beneath its permanent skies. Volcanoes would still reshape the surface, reminding us Earth's interior never stopped moving. Over countless generations, entirely new ecosystems could evolve inside the twilight zone alone. Future generations might know endless sunrise as the only normal sky they had ever seen. Our rotating planet may seem ordinary, yet its constant motion makes life on Earth possible. Even without Earth's rotation, the Moon would continue orbiting our planet as always. Ocean tides would still rise and fall because the Moon's gravity never stopped acting. The frozen hemisphere would enjoy the clearest and longest night sky in Earth's history. On the opposite side, the Sun would remain frozen in exactly the same place forever. Year after year, this extraordinary world would keep orbiting the Sun despite its motionless surface. One planet would contain blazing deserts, endless glaciers, and a thin ribbon where life could survive. Time would keep changing Earth's surface, but permanent day and night would never disappear. Everything we consider normal depends on Earth's gentle rotation through space every single day. Without rotation, Earth's atmosphere would transform into a completely different and far more hostile system. Our daily sunrise and sunset exist only because Earth never stops turning beneath our feet. That constant rotation helps create the balanced climates that support Earth's extraordinary diversity of life. Rotation is just one of many natural systems working together to make Earth uniquely habitable. Thankfully, this terrifying world exists only as a scientific thought experiment, not our reality. Every sunrise is a quiet reminder that our remarkable planet is still spinning through space. Earth's steady rotation quietly keeps our climate, oceans, and daily lives in perfect balance. Sometimes the most ordinary things are actually the greatest miracles happening every single day. Our tiny blue planet remains one of the most extraordinary worlds we have ever discovered, and that's why even one simple change could transform Earth into a completely different world. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe for more amazing science adventures and tell us what impossible question we should explore next.